Sakr el-Bayr, scimitar in hand, stood proud a little in advance of the mob of eager, babbling corsairs who surrounded him, quivering in their impatience to be let loose upon the Christian foe. Above, along the yardarm of the ratline, swarmed his foe. From the masthead floated out his standard of crimson, charged with green crescent. The naked Christian slaves groaned, strained and sweated under the Moslem lash that drove them to the destruction of their Christian brethren. Ahead, the battle was already joined. The Spaniard had fired one single hasty shot, which had gone wide, and now one of the Corsairs' grapple irons had seized her on the larboard quarter. A withering hail of arrows was pouring down upon her decks from the Muslim cross trees. Up her sides crowded the eager Moors, ever most eager when it was a question of tackling the Spanish dogs who had driven them from their Andalusian caliphate. Under her orders sped the other galley to take her on the starboard side, and even as she went, her archers and stingers hurled death aboard the galleon. It was a short, sharp fight. The Spaniards, in confusion from the beginning, having been taken utterly by surprise, had never been able to order themselves in a proper manner to receive the onslaught. Still, what could be done, they did. They made a gallant stand against this pitiless assailant. But the Corsairs charged home as gallantly, utterly reckless of life, eager to slay in the name of Allah and his Prophet, and scarcely less eager to die, if it should please the All-Pitiful that their destinies should be here fulfilled. Up they went, and back fell the Castilians, outnumbered by at least 10 to 1. When Sakr el-Bayr's galleot came alongside, that brief encounter was at an end, and one of his corsairs was aloft, hacking from the mainmast the standard of Spain and the wooden crucifix that was nailed below it. A moment later, and to a thundering roar of Alhamdulillah, the green crescent floated out upon the breeze. Sakr el-Bayr thrust his way through the press in the galleon's waist. His corsairs fell back before him, making way, and as he advanced, they roared his name deliriously and waved their scimitars to acclaim him, this Hawk of the Sea, as he was named, this most valiant of all the servants of Islam. True, he had taken no actual part in the engagement. It had been too brief, and he had arrived too late for that. But his had been the daring to conceive an ambush at so remote a western point, and his the brain that had guided them to this swift, sweet victory in the name of Allah, the One. The decks were slippery with blood and strewn with wounded and dying men, whom already the Muslimin were heaving overboard, dead and wounded alike, when they were Christians, for to what end should they be troubled with maimed slaves? About the mainmast were huddled the surviving Spaniards, weaponless and broken in courage, a herd of timid, bewildered sheep. Sakr el-Bayr stood forward, his light eyes considering them grimly. They must number close upon 100, adventurers in the main, who had set out from Cadiz in hope of finding fortune in the Indies. Their voyage had been a very brief one. Their fate, they knew, to toil at the oars of the Muslim